Okay, so remember they're changing my voice. Now, I'm not a liberal, conservative, libertarian, or like anyone else. I'm not a fan of Carl Jung. But even Carl Jung pointed out that he noticed with his hundreds of patients that a lack of religious meaning in their life caused them to have all kinds of ailments, psychiatric disorders, what have you, right? Anxiety, depression, what have you. So we see when people take on the false religions of the world, like the Ku Klux Klan, like Luciferian, they become some kind of pitiful scoundrel, like a rich, greedy person, a rock and roll star, a satanic rap star, people who just lie for political reasons, the various political movements, right? Racial movements without a higher cause, LGBT movements, feminist movements, conservative movements, you name it, okay? All the movements we see in the mainstream view are extremely disgraceful to America and the world. And they've covered up the sacred truths from God that only I propound that bring meaning to one's life. It's right there in the word propound, right? To communicate, to convey, okay? To declare authoritatively. Procreate, proof, pro of. Okay? Procreate, God is the creator. So St. Augustine said, that you have to emulate Christ to be a good Christian, okay? Or else you're not doing anything. And do you see anyone else saying it's a Royal African Falcon Martial Art Order and that one must rally to me? Obviously, I am me, so I don't need to rally to myself because I'm here, right? But other people are not emulating me, the Christos, the chosen one, because they're not rallying to me. And this is where you see, this shooting that has occurred recently in the LGBT center. Just because my religion is not for LGBT people doesn't mean that they don't need to hear it and decide whether or not, as a conscious decision, to continue living an LGBT lifestyle or repent. Same thing with a white supremacist, same thing with a black supremacist. Most black supremacists are obviously part of social orders, and they refuse to consider the idea that I am Christ as the top martial artist ever. Instead, they'll listen to Al Sharpton, they'll listen to Farrakhan, regardless how nice or not nice these guys are, they'll listen to these people, Kanye West, and so on and so forth, black Hebrew Israelites. But they won't listen to me. Now keep in mind, I do not find black women to be the most attractive. I'm not a racist. These are just the facts. I never bashed gay people in person in my life. Okay, these are just the facts. I have chastised them like every other group that you see. Okay, I do not think it was a good thing that club was shot up, other than the fact that I think if you do not live a righteous life, your life is better off cut short. That goes for the shooter. That goes for everyone around me right now. That goes for everyone on the planet, including some people in my family. Okay? And obviously anyone who would interfere with my videos to suppress them should die immediately and stop, if they can't help but disgrace themselves and their families and their nations and their races, what have you. So we see with the Klan, were they better off dead or continue what they did? Extremely disgraced. And some of these people still have their pictures out and everything, some are in some of my videos. Okay, Luciferians, disgraced. Man, name one culture where you see people who aren't better off dead than continuing their cultures and leading people, including children, astray into the pedophile matrix, if you will. And everyone in this country knows damn well that child molestation is a huge, huge problem in this country, and that governing class policy determines to what degree that problem is addressed. So by default, the entire governing class shares blame. They don't do anything that logically addresses the problem. They just conform to the left, right, middle paradigm. Okay? And the cult paradigm and whatever other filth cultures that they take part in. It doesn't take a genius to see that my governance is far greater than all the governors that ever lived in the world put together. I am the ideal. They are the idol. Thank you. For those of you who think that I'm wrong and this video is just rubbish and conspiracy theory and narcissism and egocentric thinking and so on and so forth, I challenge you to explain to me, what exactly is the connection between Lucifer in that picture, the sabotage guys who have the same long hair, same spirit as he's depicted having, animation from the word animus, meaning spirit or soul, expression, kind of dominating characteristic, prevailing tendency, what have you. Okay? The Satan with the kind of Vertuvian man guy with his hands and legs spread, showing that he believes that his mind, body, soul, and spirit is superior, and he's some kind of Satanist, that has been drawn into that picture based on a person. Okay, mind you, based on that Satanist. What is the connection between that chick saying girls just want to have fun? What's the difference between having meaning in your life and just thinking you're happy and just pursuing fun like some kind of narcissistic, hedonistic dog? Or the people in the club that were shot, just pursuing their pathetic interpretation of life, of having fun in life, with all due respect to these people. Okay? The shooter himself, with all due respect to that person's family, will say, if any's due, he's just pursuing what he thought was best under powerful military-grade psychology, which influenced his mentality and his decisions and his priorities, his sense of prioritization and propriety. So you tell me, if you think I'm wrong, and that the top martial arts ever possible with an up to $10 million challenge, that they're suppressing to some degree after I've proven my point a million times over, and every martial arts type of martial art you can think of, the representatives that they obey have conceded my point, where it matters most, by actions. If I'm not the ideal mind, body, soul, spirit, and the true leader of all humanity, if they're cheating out of his right to lead, thus damning humanity into misleading, the bitch leading, then what is your explanation? What is your counter-argument? Don't be like some little groupie girl that just sucked off another first grader or something, saying, but no one's heard of you. That's fucking immature. That doesn't mean anything. You know who the nicest person on the planet is? No one's heard of him. You know who the fastest person on the planet is? No one's heard of him. You know who the top martial artist is in real life? It's me. And lots of people haven't heard of me. Unless I'm missing something here. But lots of people have. So that argument holds no weight. That's some groupie white supremacist coward boarding school yuppie. Mary Poppins, Babs Bunny, Kelly Bundy, Luann from King of the Hills type of bitch shit. Royal African Falcon martial art, or why? Well, look at the history of the Middle East and Egypt. In their own book, Ham begot Cush, lower part of Africa, Mizraim, Egypt, upper part of Africa. Cush is the people who united Egypt, the southern Egypt and Nubia, and referring for all black Africans. And they founded Babylon the Great. Not the Asians, not the whites, not the Arabs. Cush begot Nimrod. Nimrod founded Babylon. Because before armor, before chariots, before extreme poisoning and underhanded tactics, the natural supremacy of the Royal African Falcon martial art order is propounded. Before Nimrod, I am. Before Abraham, I am. Before all the people you follow, I am. So real quickly, notice they changed my voice to sound annoying and stuff like that. That's another way of society conceding. I'm being fumed and poisoned. I have 22 witnesses on record. How many of you have ever had a crime committed against you? Did you have 22 witnesses on record and recording? And countless other people have witnessed it themselves? By them pretending that means nothing, they've thrown in the towel. Next month, on this day, the 20th, it will be exactly 9 years since I first made my outdoor sparring up to $10 million, pay nothing if you lose, $50 just to show. Top martial artist challenge, and I've beaten every challenger. Before everyone's achievements in human history put together, I am.